Attention! Mike!
Oh putain! Oh putain! Merde, vite! Vite, vite! Retourne dedans! Retourne dedans!
Welcome back to the channel where we explore the strangest, most terrifying, and most unbelievable phenomena happening around the world. And trust me, what you are about to see today will make you wonder just how many things nature and our world still hide beyond our imagination. A controlled detonation took place on the beach in Haifa to eliminate a potential hazard before the object could explode unexpectedly. Operations like this are typically carried out from a safe distance, with authorities securing the surrounding area. In Saudi Arabia, residents captured footage of clouds descending unusually close to the ground, creating the illusion that the sky itself was falling. What is remarkable is that even a small cloud can contain roughly 500 tons of water suspended in the air, as countless tiny droplets nearly the weight of 100 elephants. In the middle of the Karakum Desert lies the famous Darvaza gas crater, often called the Gateway to Hell. This massive gas crater has been burning continuously since the 1970s. With a diameter of about 230 feet, a depth of nearly 100 feet, and intense heat, visitors can usually remain nearby for only a few minutes.
Attention! Mike!
Oh putain! Oh putain! Merde, vite! Vite, vite! Retourne dedans! Retourne dedans! C'est bon. Un bout! Un bout!
Attention! Mike!
Oh putain! Oh putain! Merde, vite! Vite, vite! Retourne dedans! Retourne dedans! C'est bon.
The story of beluga whales becoming stranded before an earthquake in Russia once sparked significant debate. Some scientists suggest that marine animals may be sensitive to low-frequency vibrations or pressure changes that humans cannot detect. What do you think? After periods of heavy rainfall in southern Russia, the desert locust population exploded. These swarms can travel up to 90 miles per day and are capable of devastating crops within only a few hours.
$3000 банка.
You are watching the moment a group of fishermen ran in panic as tall volcanoes suddenly erupted behind them. The ash column was estimated to reach around 6,900 feet into the sky. Ash clouds like these can reduce visibility, create breathing hazards, and affect entire surrounding regions.
amount of rain is crazy. Oh, you got your umbrella? Yeah! Okay, we're not leaving now, but that tree's gonna fall. That hit our tree.
我叫一个办法，我要抓。
Just imagine this for a moment. How would you react if you suddenly came face to face with a 20-foot-long African rock python?
Scott,
Yeah.
just get some pictures of the lady as well.
This Eugrylacris guamashin seems to have mistaken a human hand for a leaf. Following its instincts, it began spinning silk and trying to build a shelter just as it would in its natural habitat. Let's go back to 2017 and the total solar eclipse that crossed multiple states across the United States, known as the Great American Eclipse. For a few brief minutes, temperatures dropped and the sky darkened as if night had suddenly arrived in the middle of the day.
Ready?
Good, it's about to fall on top of us.
See it. Guys, oh my gosh. What is this? Are we gonna fucking die? Look up. Right there. Right here.
This is definitely not a meteor shower. Those streaks of light were debris from a SpaceX Starship explosion shortly after launch.
That's wild.
At first glance, the roads in Portsmouth look as though they were cracked apart by an earthquake. But the real cause was heavy rainfall from Hurricane Ida in 2021, which overwhelmed the area and washed out the road foundations. What made the earthquake in Myanmar so destructive was not only its magnitude of 7.9, but also the depth of the quake and the way seismic waves traveled through the ground. Many buildings experienced violent shaking within just a few seconds.
Chase it down. Can't see it live like that. Uh-huh. Oh my God!
Have you ever been outdoors when lightning struck close enough to genuinely scare you?
Put your rods down! Oh my God, you're a foot, motherfucker! Let's go with the battle! Come on!
Off the coast of Papua New Guinea, filmmakers recorded Chirodectes maculatus, an extremely rare box jellyfish with 24 eyes and a body nearly the size of a soccer ball covered in spotted patterns that help it blend into the surrounding water. What are your thoughts on Asian carp? When winter temperatures drop sharply in cold, dry regions such as Rajasthan, water inside pipes can freeze and expand. As a result, cylindrical blocks of ice may form inside the pipes exactly as you are seeing here. We are looking at the aftermath of major flooding on the Dulyu River around June 2025. When water levels rise suddenly, powerful currents can erode bridge foundations and eventually cause the structure to lose its ability to support weight. You may not know this, but dugongs are often called the gardeners of the ocean. By feeding on seagrass, they help keep underwater meadows healthy and create habitats for many smaller marine species.
What is that? A giant stingray? That's so much kelp. Seaweed? Yeah. In one spot, though? That's the biggest I've ever seen.
This is not an oil spill. The brown layer covering the ocean is sargassum, a type of seaweed that floats thanks to tiny gas-filled bladders and can gather into enormous floating fields stretching for miles along ocean currents.
Yeah? Nah, this is...
Scenes like this are not uncommon in Venezuela. What is your opinion about this phenomenon?
А это загадочный слезевик ритмогала лесная. По нему можно отслеживать ритм жизни.
There are still so many things I have never known, such as Lycogala epidendrum, a strange organism that grows on decaying wood. Although it has no brain or nervous system, it can slowly move in search of nutrients and releases a pink or orange milk-like fluid when disturbed. What makes this case in China so remarkable is that the fish remained alive despite having an unusually sunken abdomen. It demonstrates just how resilient and adaptable some fish species can be. The moment a mysterious circle appeared almost instantly in a field, many people immediately thought of UFOs. Leave a 1 in the comments if you think this phenomenon is real, and a 0 if you do not.
Oh my god. They're the only ones that are entertaining us. She's headless. Send that to Ripley.
Do not be alarmed, this is simply an optical illusion caused by the camera angle.
He's not doing the same thing. What do you want, Danny? That was the tree.
Oh, there's something itchy.
This, on the other hand, is an atmospheric mirage known as a fata morgana, recorded in China. It occurs when layers of warm and cold air with large temperature differences bend light in unusual ways. This winter scene was captured on Dayang Mountain, where freezing droplets formed one after another, creating thousands of long, sparkling ice columns. In the Nyari prefecture, a rainbow appeared unusually close to the ground, at an elevation of approximately 16,400 feet. Thin air, intense sunlight, and moisture near the surface combined to create this rare rainbow that seemed to embrace the plateau.
Они просто идут одна за одной. Без. Они не сцеплены, они просто идут вот так вот в рядок, одна за одной.
Take a look. This moving procession is a caterpillar migration. They follow chemical trails or closely track the individual in front of them while searching for food or suitable places to pupate. If you look carefully, this is not an actual face. It is a combination of clouds lighting conditions and the brain's tendency to recognize familiar shapes, a phenomenon known as pareidolia. Under powerful windstorm conditions, motorcycles are among the easiest vehicles to lose control of because of their light weight and relatively small contact area with the road. I would guess that the flock of sheep covering this road in Patagonia could number around 140,000 animals. What do you think? Leave your estimate in the comments and see how close you can get. In the state of Uttar Pradesh, powerful flash floods placed enormous pressure on a dam. As the soil beneath continued to erode, entire sections of the structure became vulnerable to collapse and wash out within a short period of time. When temperatures drop low enough, water can freeze around stones, layer by layer, creating the strange illusion that rocks are floating on the surface of a lake. You are looking at thousands of tern eggs laid directly on the sand covering Kubar Island. This bird species has a unique nesting strategy, choosing open sandy areas where large colonies can breed together. I would love to know your age and what hobby has become a meaningful part of your daily life since retirement. A massive mixture of rock, soil, and snow is cascading down a mountainside in Muatathal. Landslides like this often occur when snowpack and soil become unstable after heavy rain or sudden temperature changes. This is not a supernatural phenomenon. It is the volcanic eruption that shook southern Chile in 2015 when an ash column rose to approximately 12.4 miles into the atmosphere after decades of silence. Tumbleweed is actually a seed dispersal strategy used by desert plants. Once the dried plant breaks away from its roots, strong winds can roll it for miles before it finally becomes trapped against fences or inside residential areas. Are you watching this moment on a phone, a laptop, or a TV? Can you clearly see the white blanket covering the town of Aitolico, created by thousands of spiders during a period of unusually warm weather? This is the famous Cayama blowhole. Here, ocean waves are forced through a natural rock cavity and erupt skyward like a giant water jet. At first glance, many people assume this is flowing lava from a volcano. In reality, the firefall effect occurs when the setting sun strikes the water of Horsetail Fall at precisely the right angle, making it glow like molten fire. This moment captures the explosive growth of the wildfire that swept through the Palisades area. It is a powerful reminder of how quickly wildfires can intensify under the right conditions. What makes these glowing streaks, often called space jellyfish, so easy to mistake for UFOs is their constantly expanding and changing shape. In reality, they are clouds of rocket exhaust spreading through the thin upper atmosphere. If you look carefully, the bright area above appears to be a light source shining through the clouds, while the circular shape below may simply be a cloud layer reflecting that light. A mysterious UAP was recorded above the port of Los Angeles. What do you think? Is it advanced technology or something else entirely? TikTok user Robert King recorded a strange glowing sphere hovering over the skies of London. It was most likely an optical effect caused by light reflecting through low clouds and high humidity, creating the illusion of an object suspended in midair. This scene in Largo demonstrates the destructive power of rotating winds during extreme weather. Even a house that appears firmly anchored can be lifted and carried away if its structural connections are not strong enough. You may not have heard of Dictamnus albus. On very hot days, it releases highly volatile citrus-scented oils, and when exposed to a flame, the vapor can briefly ignite without harming the plant itself. What about Aesculus hippocastanum? If you know something interesting about this tree, feel free to share it in the comments. These bright yellow frogs are Indian bullfrog entering their breeding season. They are normally brown or green, but males turn vivid yellow after heavy rains to attract females. This type of incident is often caused by thermal expansion, long-term pressure beneath adhesive layers, or structural defects inside the tiles themselves. Over time, pressure builds until the tile suddenly cracks or bursts like a small explosion. This is a situation where not everyone could remain as calm as this man. If it were you, how do you think you would react? A new generation of desert locusts has arrived in northern Kenya in massive numbers. The wet conditions from earlier rainfall help them reproduce, rapidly creating enormous swarms that can threaten crops throughout the region. What makes lightning so dangerous is that it can strike at the very beginning of a storm, when many people still believe the weather is not yet severe. Do you think this is a product of artificial intelligence? I would really like to hear your thoughts. In New Zealand, certain famous caves are home to tiny, glowing creatures that create a scene resembling a star-filled sky. What is truly fascinating is that they do not glow for beauty, but as a survival strategy in the darkness underground. What makes this moment so impressive is not the amount of water disappearing, but how quickly nature can transform a landscape right before our eyes. At Mount Etna, the volcano occasionally produces nearly perfect smoke rings. These rings form only when the volcanic vent gas pressure and wind conditions align in a very specific way. What does the sky look like where you live today? Compared with Alaska, where sundogs commonly appear on frigid days, the sight of multiple suns appearing above a city in China left many people astonished. Rainbow clouds remain among the rarest atmospheric phenomena in the sky. They appear only when sunlight and moisture combine under very specific conditions. In the capital city of Lima, Peru, residents were astonished when the Rimac River turned a vivid red. Although it looked like a scene from a movie, this phenomenon is often linked to red soil minerals or materials washed into the river after heavy rainfall. In science, this phenomenon is known as pareidolia, when the brain unconsciously searches for familiar shapes in clouds, light, or natural landscapes. By the way, which state are you watching from? Has your area ever experienced two completely different kinds of weather in the same day? The moon above the Chicago skyline appears to flicker and even duplicate itself. This unusual effect often occurs when light is bent by layers of air with different temperatures or reflected inside a camera lens. When hundreds or even thousands of objects move in the same way at the same time, the human brain often creates the sensation of seeing something unreal. That is why some natural phenomena can sometimes look like special effects from a movie. Near the capital city of Baku lies Yanar Dag, also known as the Burning Mountain. Here, natural gas escaping from underground has kept flames burning continuously for many years, creating a truly unusual sight. Under the warm sunlight, hundreds of seals lie close together to rest after spending long periods swimming through cold waters. It is one of nature's ways of helping them conserve energy and recover. If this appeared right outside your home, would you stay and watch, or would you choose a safer distance to admire it? This strange phenomenon is known as an ant mill or death spiral. When ants lose the pheromone trail that guides them, entire colonies can end up marching in circles for extended periods before finding their way again. The landscape of the Tuwaik Mountains reminds us that deserts are not always dry and silent. After heavy rain flash floods can develop rapidly and transform the terrain into a powerful rushing flow within a very short time. On a scale from 1 to 10, how would you rate the coordination between these seabirds and humpback whales in Monterey Bay? At botanical gardens around the world, the Titan arum always attracts attention whenever it blooms. What makes it remarkable is that its smell, often compared to rotting fish or spoiled eggs, is no accident. It is a clever strategy designed to attract insects that assist with pollination. At first glance, sea cucumbers may seem like simple creatures, but on the ocean floor, they quietly process large amounts of sediment every day while feeding, helping maintain the balance of marine ecosystems. By the way, do you usually watch nature videos like this on a TV, a computer, or a phone? At Magic Kingdom in Florida, the sunset appears to be divided in half by a perfect line across the sky. A combination of clouds, dust, and layers of air created this rare and remarkable sight. You are witnessing Florida's famous mullet run. Millions of mullet migrate along the coastline, attracting dolphins, sharks, seabirds, and countless other predators. Along the Condamine River in Queensland, tens of thousands of fruit bats are leaving their roosts to begin their nightly search for food. Although often misunderstood, they play an important role in dispersing seeds and maintaining natural ecosystems. It is hard to believe when you see nearly perfect circular ice rings floating on the water. Even today, many people compare them to giant natural donuts. During the rainy season, this unique forest transforms into a crystal clear, underwater world. Its peaceful beauty attracts nature lovers and divers from around the globe. Would you like the chance to experience a place like this in person? In Oman, floodwaters rose rapidly across this bridge. With only a small additional increase in water level, vehicles could lose traction and become extremely difficult to control.
أول سيارة محمد يوصل هنا. أنا مصور فيديو. دعموها.
In just a few seconds, a massive landslide can rush down a mountainside with incredible force. Moments like this remind us that nature is constantly reshaping the world around us. I would really like to know what came to your mind when you saw these mud bubbles continuously erupting in Gobustan, Azerbaijan. To many people, they look like a scene from another planet. Before you is the Wandan Mud volcano in southern Taiwan. It may not have glowing lava like a typical volcano, but the pressure of underground gas and water is still powerful enough to push large amounts of mud to the surface. A similar phenomenon has also been recorded in Colombia. Mud eruptions like these show that the Earth sometimes operates in ways very different from what we usually imagine when we think of volcanoes. Deep within an arid desert, people discovered a highly valuable source of black gold. What makes this location especially interesting is that the local ecosystem has remained relatively unaffected because of the region's already extreme natural conditions.
One of the big horns I've seen in a few years. That is absolute, dude. Devil status right there.
If you were there, would you keep a safe distance or move closer to capture this rare moment on camera? From a distance, this ice looks completely solid. In reality, under certain conditions, it can become surprisingly fragile and break apart with very little warning. In high mountain regions, seas of clouds can sometimes stretch for miles below the peaks, creating the feeling of standing in a world completely separated from the ground below.
I've seen some really creepy stuff.
Are you someone who enjoys watching nature videos on a large screen to catch every detail? For example, optical illusions like this one can make tree branches appear as though they are floating in mid-air. It seems whales know how to create unforgettable moments too. When sunlight passes through the mist from their blowholes, a beautiful rainbow can suddenly appear. The force of air generated by this waterfall is powerful enough to lift lightweight objects upward against gravity. The bubbles trapped beneath this thick layer of ice create a scene that is both beautiful and unusual. They also reveal that important processes are still taking place beneath the frozen surface. At the Dead Sea, salt concentrations are far higher than those found in most oceans. That is what creates these dense salt formations and landscapes unlike almost anywhere else on Earth. At first glance, the pelican in Destin, Florida appears to be disappearing into thin air. But this is simply an optical illusion created by reflected light and a unique camera angle. If you encountered a scene like that in real life, would you move closer to take a look or keep a safe distance?
Wow!
You may not know this, but deer sometimes chew on bones or seek out other mineral sources to obtain nutrients missing from their natural diet. This roadside deer in Texas is an interesting example. Have you ever heard of a horsehair worm? This unusual parasite can develop inside the body of an insect before eventually emerging when its host approaches water. If you found yourself in a situation like this, do you think you could stay calm? Is this the kind of nature video you enjoy watching on your TV at home in the evening? At Mount LeConte, powerful winds cause the entire forest floor to appear as though it were moving. The scene creates the illusion that the forest is breathing right before our eyes. How would you react if you suddenly witnessed something like this in real life? The ocean has always contained beauty that is both delicate and powerful. And that is exactly what continues to inspire people to explore it. On a beach in Mexico, visitors witnessed a total solar eclipse, one of the most spectacular astronomical events that humans can observe with the naked eye. In Alberta, Canada, many people believe they have witnessed ball lightning. Although it remains the subject of debate, it is considered one of the most mysterious atmospheric electrical phenomena ever recorded.
Aquí tenemos... Miren qué es esto.
Residents of Mocha Island in Chile once believed that flames appearing on the surface of the water were supernatural. However, some researchers suggest that methane gas escaping from the seafloor may be a more plausible explanation.
Ahora como está la marea baja, se puede encender con gas. Está todo tapado con olas. Bueno, en este momento ya empezó a subir la marea. Empezó ya...
In southern Iran, intense evaporation has created salt lakes with unusual colors and patterns. Viewed from above, the landscape looks more like part of an alien world than Earth. At first glance, this cloud over Sydney might remind some people of a mysterious flying object. In reality, it is simply a low cloud formation distorted by wind and moisture. Volcanoes often create some of the most spectacular sights on Earth. However, their beauty comes with extreme environmental conditions that deserve great respect. These magical-looking sun pillars appear only when ice crystals in the atmosphere reflect light in a very specific way. A camera captured the moment a swimming pool in Brazil suddenly collapsed, sending water rushing into the area below within seconds. Take a close look. What image do you see hidden inside this cloud? Drivers were astonished as the entire sky appeared to be on fire beneath the sunset. In reality, it was the small clouds reflecting low-angle sunlight that created this spectacular effect. In the state of Bahia, Brazil, a brilliant red cloud lasted only a few short minutes, yet it was enough to make thousands of people stop watch and record the moment. Next is a scene that many people could hardly believe with their own eyes. The surface of the Gulf of Mexico appeared to be burning like a giant ring of fire following an offshore gas leak. This unusual creature is called a pyrosome. What appears to be a single large organism is actually a colony made up of thousands or even millions of tiny individuals living together as one unified structure. In Shenyang, a powerful lightning strike hit an electrical system, creating a spectacle that many people found impossible to look away from. A herd of hundreds of reindeer is moving in a circle to protect its young in the center. This is one of nature's most remarkable examples of collective defense behavior. The incident at Lake Dunlap demonstrates the incredible force of water when it is no longer restrained by human-made structures. In Haryana, India, the ground seemed to rise up from beneath the water. This rare phenomenon is believed to be linked to methane gas trapped beneath layers of mud and escaping under high pressure. Above the skies of Oklahoma, a strange red flash appeared over a storm. This phenomenon is known as a red sprite, a type of electrical discharge that occurs high above thunderstorms in the atmosphere. In northern Brazil, bioluminescent mushrooms transform the forest at night into a scene that looks almost like something from a science fiction movie. A circular cloud appearing above the Florida Keys led many people to think of an alien spacecraft. But sometimes nature is even more creative than our imagination. Amid steam minerals and extreme temperatures, Yellowstone National Park produces some of the most vibrant colors found anywhere in nature. From above, it looks more like another planet than a place on Earth. When mudwater and methane gas escape to the surface together, they create a geological phenomenon that is both strange and fascinating. It is easy to understand why some people can spend hours simply watching it. If you unexpectedly saw something like this in the sky one night, would you stop and watch or immediately pull out your phone to record it? In Bangkok, Thailand, a section of road suddenly collapsed while traffic was moving normally. Incidents like this remind us that changes beneath the ground can sometimes occur silently until the very last moment. Before you is one of the rarest whales ever recorded. With its nearly pure white coloration, it stands out against the vast ocean like a creature from legend. Would you like to experience walking along China's famous Changkong Plank Road?
太夸张了，这下！现在这鱼在干嘛？妈，满船都是鱼啊，怎么办？吓死人了！我靠！我来杀！哎，简直就好了啦！这什么情况啊？我靠！天哪！哎，高估的人。看看这鱼。
老铁们，6月15号的早上，看看这鱼大群了，看看，哎呦，1米多高这鱼，哎呦我去，太多了，老铁们。
With a school numbering in the thousands, even a small environmental change can cause the entire surface of the water to move like one enormous living organism.
马干湖这鱼啊，不知道咋的了。看。
The moment a whale launches itself out of the water never fails to amaze. Even people who spend their entire lives at sea may never witness a sight like this firsthand. What do you think might exist at the bottom of this deep lake? You have just watched a fascinating episode of natural phenomena. If you have ever witnessed anything strange like this yourself, share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want to keep exploring unusual events through a scientific lens, do not forget to follow the channel. See you in the next video.